January has always felt like a really strange time because in the calendar year, it symbolizes new beginnings, but we're still in the depths of winter. And in nature, winter is really a time to rest and reflect. And I know that so many of us can feel a really strong pressure at the beginning of the year to start implementing new habits. And this video, I especially wanted to talk about morning and evening routines. I felt like the theme of 2024 was that we had to have these long, elaborate wellness routines in order to improve our health, when in actuality, health and wellness routines only work if you can consistently implement them into your life. And I think a big theme that we're going to see in 2025 is just simplifying our life and simplifying our health routines and making sure that we're doing things that are actually going to move the needle forward. So in this video, I wanted to share with you guys my simple 30-minute morning and evening routine that I've been doing in the winter. But at the end of the day, this is really just a framework. You're going to have to change it for your lifestyle. Maybe you're a mom and you have only 5 or 10 minutes before your kids get up, or maybe you have to do your routines while your kids get up. There may be habits and practices that you have that you know really help you feel energized in the morning or help you sleep at night that you want to include that I don't. So with that being said, let's just jump right into the video. So one thing that I do every morning, regardless of the season, regardless of my current morning routine, is make my bed. It just helps me not get back into my bed once I'm out of it. And then I will go to the kitchen and drink water. I add some warm water because I want it to be at least room temperature or a little bit warmer. It just helps to get the digestive system going. And then something that I have been doing is jumping first thing in the morning. This is really great for lymphatic drainage. And I see a lot of people on Instagram using trampolines. You definitely do not have to buy a trampoline. I will just say you definitely want to put on some sort of sports bra before you start doing this. And then I have been starting my morning after I do my jumping with a lymphatic massage. So I just go through and massage all of the major lymph nodes. I'll put a little picture, a little diagram somewhere on the screen of all the major lymph nodes, but just giving these a massage. I talk a lot about the importance of lymphatic drainage and supporting your lymphatic system. Unlike your circulatory system, the lymphatic system doesn't have a central pump. For example, the one in our circulatory system is our heart. Therefore, we have to use things like gravity, muscle contractions, movement, and manual massage to move fluid through the lymph system. So after that, I will just do a little bit of movement and stretching here. I'm just kind of moving my body in whatever way feels natural. I used to start my morning with meditation, and I actually just found that after being still for 8 to 9 hours of sleeping, it's really hard for me to sit still and meditate. So instead, I really like to do some gentle stretching at the start of the day. This also makes a huge difference in terms of my energy levels. Patients often ask me if it's normal to be sleepy right when they wake up. And of course, right when you wake up, it's normal to be sleepy and to feel tired. What we shouldn't be is feeling tired in those 10 to 15 minutes after we've been up, after we've been moving around. And doing some movement has made a huge difference in my energy levels. After this stretching session, I feel way, way more energized. And I always finish with the squat pose. I try and do at least 20 to 30 seconds of this a few times per day. It's just so good for helping to improve my mobility. And then after my stretching session, I'm ready to do just a short meditation. Sometimes I like to just sit and see what pops into my mind. Sometimes I'll do some visualizations for what I want my life to look like, what I want my day to look like. I definitely think that mental rehearsal of your day can make a huge difference. Again, it doesn't need to be a huge long meditation. You can do 2, 5, 10 minutes, whatever works for you. And then once I'm done, I'm ready to move on to my skincare routine. So you guys know I do my best to live a low tox lifestyle. So I do my best to pick clean ingredients, although I'm definitely not perfect. I also just try and use less products. I've really been trying to use less products, just using the products that I notice make a really big difference. So in the morning, I don't wash my face with any sort of cleanser or soap. I'll just rinse it off and then I'll just pat it dry with a clean towel. I bought a bunch of these small little towels. That way I have a clean one every morning, and then I can just do a big load of them at the end of the week. And then I will use a hyaluronic acid serum. I really like the one from The Ordinary. I've noticed a big difference in the hydration of my skin when I use this. And then I love the company Mad Hippie, so I will use the vitamin C serum after. And one thing I really try and do is slow down and be really intentional with my skincare routine in the morning. I've talked about this before, but one of the best ways to regulate your nervous system is to just slow down when you're doing daily tasks. So something like doing your skincare routine is such a great opportunity to do that. It may take you an extra 30 seconds to finish, but it's so worth it. And then I've been loving the Coupe Lightweight Moisturizer. I just find that I do my gua sha routine after my skincare, and this provides a really good kind of lubrication for my gua sha. And while I'm doing my gua sha, I'm making sure that I'm draining everything down into my neck. And then right at the end of the routine, I'll kind of push it against my chest just to make sure that I'm able to drain everything into those auxiliary lymph nodes. I'll do another layer of the moisturizer, and then I got this free sample of this homeopathic lip balm. I don't use a ton of homeopathics, but I have found that this has made a huge difference in my chapped and dry lips. I get really dry lips in the winter. So I like to apply a layer of that, and then I will do my hair. One of my intentions for 2025 is to add more white space into my day. So I really try not to listen to any music or podcasts or anything like that while I'm doing my skincare and doing my hair. And then sometimes I'll go out for a walk right away, but during the holidays, and I did film this in that week in between Christmas and New Year's, I do like to have a coffee and do some journaling. I know that having coffee on an empty stomach is a little bit of a controversial activity to do in the health and wellness space. And when I'm talking about it with patients, it's really on a case by case basis. Definitely if there's digestive issues, if they have a really low appetite in the morning, or we're dealing with high cortisol, then coffee is not something that we want to be having in the morning. But for me, it brings me so much joy, and it's just something so nice to journal and have my cup of coffee. It brings me a lot of joy. So like I said, this was filmed in the week between Christmas and New Year's. So I was having a lot of reflections on the year. The journaling sessions this week were just so great. And then after my journaling session, I always try and get outside. I really make an effort to get outside within the first 60 minutes of waking up, ideally even a little bit earlier. And because I was on holidays when I filmed this, I was definitely waking up a little bit later, which meant the sun was actually up. When I went for my morning walk, a lot of the times in the winter, the sun isn't necessarily always up. And I do always try and get some movement in first thing in the morning outside. Sometimes I'll go for a walk, sometimes I'll go for a run. Sometimes if it's a workout day, I'll go for a walk to kind of warm up, and then I'll stop off at my gym and do a little workout. That is my morning routine. I guess now we can move on to the evening routine, but I wanted to keep it short. I wanted to keep it simple. If you don't count the workout, you can probably get all of that done in 30 minutes. But anyway, let's move on to the evening routine. Like my morning routine, I've really been trying to simplify my evening routine. I've just found that the more drawn out and complex the evening routine is, the less likely I will stick to it. And when you're building your evening routine, you really want to think about your goals that you want that routine to accomplish. So for me, I really want a routine that's going to help me stay off my phone, especially before I go to bed. We know that the bright light from our phones and other screens inhibits melatonin production and negatively impacts sleep. Also, a lot of the information that I would be consuming on my phone is not necessarily information that I want to be consuming right before I go to bed. I also want a routine that is going to calm my nervous system and really get me into a state where I can fall asleep quite easily. And then the last thing is a routine that will just help me tick off some of those self-care activities that I want to do on a daily basis. One example of that is castor oil packs. It's something that I've been trying to do at least 4 to 5 times per week. There are so many benefits to doing castor oil packs. I really find that it helps with my digestion. I find I have really good bowel movements the next morning after I do it, but it's also great for hormonal health. I would just say don't do it while you're on your period. Castor oil can increase blood flow to the pelvic regions, especially if you're putting the castor oil pack over that lower abdomen, and sometimes it can exacerbate heavy bleeding. So just something to be aware of. Whenever I'm doing castor oil packs, I just try and use an organic hexane-free castor oil. I'll put the pack over my liver area, and then I'll usually leave it on for about 30 to 40 minutes. I make sure that I wash my hands really well because castor oil is super sticky, and then I will do my skincare routine. So in the evening, I do cleanse my face with a cleanser. This is the one by The Ordinary. I've tried other cleansers, and I've just found that this is the one that works the best for my skin. It's also super affordable, which is great. And then I'm going in again with a clean towel to dry off my face, and then I'm using the same hyaluronic acid that I did in the morning. I just find that this is really great for keeping my skin super moisturized during the winter. And then in the evening, I'll use a thicker moisturizer. This is one by Three Ships. It's their Firm Believer one. I think this is a local company in Ontario, so I'm not sure if you're going to be able to find this if you don't live in Ontario, but one of my New Year's goals was to support more local brands and shop more intentionally. So I always encourage you to try and find local brands that you feel like you align with, that have clean beauty products, and then purchase from them. And then I just added more of the homeopathic lip balm. And then I've been trying to do legs up. I don't really like doing them on the wall. There's just nowhere in my apartment that really I can lie down and put my legs up on the wall. So I'll usually just put them up on a chair, lie down for a a little bit, and then by that time, it's usually time to take my castor oil pack off, and I just usually hang it by my shower and let it air out until the next time that I use it. And then honestly, guys, I just sit on my couch and read for the rest of the night. I find that this kind of keeps me off of my phone. I just put my Kindle on the lowest setting and use the darker background. In the evenings, I'll generally read a fiction book. You guys know I love historical fiction. So right now I'm reading a World War II historical fiction, and I try and stay out of my bed until right before I go to sleep. This is something that I learned in my undergrad in psychology. We really associate different locations with different activities, and I really try and keep the bed just for sleep and the other activity that you do in your bed. And yeah, that is pretty much my evening routine. Definitely let me know in the comments if you guys have anything in your morning or evening routine that makes a huge difference for your day or for your sleep. We'd love to know. I want everyone to be able to share in the comments. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe. There is so much exciting content to come in 2025, and we would love to have you along for the ride. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.